I'm Jilene Hay from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. We've been here for a few years, originally from Alberta. We've got 4 little Hay children who rule the house and keep us on our toes all the time. So fun.
Well, hi, my name is Duane Hay and I live in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia with my wife Jilene and my 4, count them, 4 children.
So I had a few people try and introduce Young Living to me, but it never really clicked. I think that there's just the right time when it actually really you really need it in your life. And so for me, that happened when I went to a class and learned about how simple it was to just introduce oils into our day-to-day life. I had used a few oils prior to getting introduced to Young Living, but I wasn't really sure how to use them until I went to a class, and then my mind was just blown open with the possibilities of what they could do for our family.
When I first heard about Young Living, it was from my lovely wife Jilene. She came home talking about this kit of 11 oils and a diffuser. It's for about $200 and how these were going to revolutionize our health and she was going to use them on the kids. And all I heard was just like another collection of knickknacks that's going to go on the shelf and probably won't use. So I was pretty anti spending $200 on whatever was in these little bottles and the Misty machine with lights in it. I was like, no, didn't see the value at all. That was my first impression about Young Living, but after Jilene kept on me about it and I actually saw my sister Megan and her husband Travis were going to get some oils and start on them, and you know, when I thought about it, I realized happy wife, happy life. And so with that in mind, I thought, okay, let's make the investment and get the oils and Jilene will be happy and I'll just go about my business.
It took me about 6 months after we got started using the products. I was only interested in Young Living for the products, specifically for my kids, and just to incorporate that into, you know, the common things that you need as a mom. And the business side of it came a lot more organically, just started sharing with a few people here and there. You know, all of these people in my life that I knew could benefit from it. And so I went to a session with Adam Green one time, and I drove an hour each way. And that night I was just really struck with the idea that time really was our only limited commodity, and I just wanted to use my time well. I knew I had something in my hands that could help people, that could make a difference for our family. And so I went home that night and made a decision that I was actually going to be intentional about sharing and growing this business. But once we started sharing and started hearing the stories pour in from people, it doesn't ever get old. Just hearing all the ways that people are really thriving using the products that Young Living has, and what a blessing it's been for our family to be a part of that.
I started to notice that these were more than just nice smells, and we started to see impacts in the health of our kids were the first thing that I noticed. Well, now kids are feeling better, mom's life is easier, and by extension, my life was made a little bit easier. So I was like, okay, I'm glad that these things are in the house. And so that's where I started to kind of realize that, yeah, they were more than just air fresheners for the room. I mean, a lot has changed since Young Living has come into our lives. I used to work full-time for the local cable company, and so I would be the guy going home to home, installing television, internet, and telephone, and all that goes along with that. The motto was take the good with the bad, and I did like it, but what's changed now that our Young Living business has grown to the point where Jilene and I are now full-time in it together is just total time freedom. In times of life, like we recently had a new baby, where we need to slow down and focus on us and our family, we're able to dial it down for those periods of time. And I've been able to just reconnect with some of my loves for exercising, getting back into the gym, or depending on the season, mountain biking or snowboarding and things like that. And just being able to hang out with the kids each and every day and find ways to incorporate them in what I love to do and what they love to do. I can come alongside them and be there to drop them off at their lessons and practices and do school pickup and drop off and volunteer in places where we used to not have that free time for me to be involved in that way.
I'm very glad they reached Crown Diamonds, and I'm very grateful that they work in this job. I just love spending time with them every day. Lavender's my favorite oil because it smells good. I like to hang out with my parents at a heyday. I like this oil.